Hi guys and welcome back to the channel. Today we are reviewing the Honda Amaze diesel. I'll tell you about the petrol as well. Before that, do subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and let's get started. This is the key fob for the Amaze, and let's talk a bit about the design. So the Amaze has gotten a lot more aggressive from the previous generation. This is the pre-facelift version. However, now we have a facelift model which has minor updates, and this is the headlamp cluster which has an LED DRL, and this is the indicator. This is the fog lamp housing. Now both of these have become LED projector units, and the grille has also been changed a bit. But I prefer this one to the newer one because this thick chrome band does look a bit better than the slats on the grill, and the design has become more in line with that of the Honda Civic and the Honda City. Now let's open the engine bay. I'm struggling again, as has been in all the videos. So as you can see, it gets underbody under hood cladding, and this is the engine bay. This is the 1.5 liter diesel Earth Dreams. It also comes with a 1.2 liter IV Tech motor. We'll talk about that in a bit, but first, this engine has been known for good fuel efficiency, good low end performance, but the noise it makes, the rattle it makes, is something which we need to check on. Okay, so this is how the side profile of the car looks like. You've got your LED wing, LED indicators on the wing mirror itself. Now this wing mirror has been shared across all Honda cars now, and you get 15-inch rims. This is the same tire size which is offered on the base variant of the City, and this is an alloy, but the newer one comes with the alloys from the previous gen Honda City. Alright, so let's open the boot, and you can see it's a Carvinist boot for a car which is under 4 meters. No underbody cladding. However, now it does get the boot cladding as well. A smaller spare wheel, 14 inches, and boot is decently sized. It has around 420 liters of boot space, which is which is bigger than almost all its competitors. Okay, so let's shut it up, and don't forget to subscribe. Alright, so this is the tail lamp cluster, and as you can see, this is how it looks at night, and you've got your regular LED bulbs. As we're done with the rear, let's just move on to the rear seats, and let's open the door. And as you can see, all the door pads are beige with a hint of black here and there. The interior is covered in black seat covers. However, when you buy the car, you get beige seat covers. Alright, so it has a decent amount of space. The seat has been pushed all the way behind, and you get a nifty armrest with 2 cup holders. You've got no rear AC vents though, but you have a bottle holder, and you've got a charging outlet. However, rear AC vents is something which the competition offers, and so should the Amaze. Alright, so you've got decent sized enough door pockets as well. You can easily house 1 liter bottles. However, you do not get adjustable rear headrests, which is a bummer for me, but you do get Isofix style seat mounts, and this is how the rear seat looks. And these aftermarket seat covers do look okayish on the car, and it does match with the overall theme. And yeah, but the door pads, one thing about the door pads is that they're very easy to stain because they're all beige in color. And even though even though how hard you try to keep them clean, and they will get dirty. All right, people, so we are now getting into the front, and as you can see, it does look better than the previous generation. The cabin looks a bit more inviting, and here is the door panel. You get window controls over here, controls for locking and unlocking the doors. This is for the ORVMs, and which are electronically adjustable and foldable as well. So we shut the door, and straight away let's have a look into the cabin. This is the climate control, and this is the start stop button. The steering is good to hold, but it only gets adjustment for for height. It does not get reach adjustment, which means you cannot pull the steering out. And this is the infotainment system. Now the top end variants get a touchscreen unit as well, which we'll talk about in a bit later. This is the hazard light switch, and these are the controls which I've already talked about. This is the glove box, decently sized, and it's got adjustable headlights up front, which is great. Then door bins are large, they can easily house a 1 liter bottle in them, and there is ample storage space around the cabin. You get two cup holders in front of the gear lever. The gear lever itself does not look very nice. This is the power outlet. This is USB, and the aux input is there only. Okay, so now let's start the car up, and it does a cool swipe, and I'll show you that later on. But first, let's check out the MID. So the MID looks a bit basic, and this is the same instrument cluster which is now also on the two trims of the Honda City. Only the top end one gets a digital instrument cluster. It does not have, it does have a good amount of information. However, it is not as expansive as systems or the MIDs of Hyundai and Maruti offer. So you get dual trip meters, and yeah, that's all about it. I hope you had seen the efficiency, which was around 19 kilometers per liter. This is how you adjust the brightness of the instrument cluster, and this is for headlamp leveling. And I'll show you, closing the mirrors and on. They open up as well. All right, so the driver's mirror is auto down. However, it does not get an auto up button or an auto up function, which is a bummer because it does not cost much, I believe. And you've got grab rails on the driver's side. I mean, why would you need that, Honda? You've got no cabin light up front, but you have one in the center. However, two cabin lights would have really lifted up the ambience. Then this is the sun visor. You get a mirror, no light. You do not get a mirror on this side, and no light either. Alright, so this is the manually dimming or IRVM. Even now they are not offering auto dimming IRVMs. This is the climating controls, and this is the infotainment system. Okay, so let's talk about it. So it does not get a lot of functions. It only has Bluetooth, and then you can play FM, AM, radio, whatever, and you've got USB aux input. So that's all the options to play the audio. All right, so I'll let you know how the audio quality is like with 4 speakers. But first, let's look at the control stock. So these are the controls for the lights. The lights work decently well. However, the throw could have been a bit better. The LED ones in the newer model are great. This is the wiper. Spray is adequate, and the wipers also work decently well. And let's talk about quality now. So the dash is covered in hard plastic, and which does not look low rent unlike Maruti, and you get cloth padding on the doors as well. The quality overall is quite decent, so you get piano black finish for the top part of the dash, and it does look good. However, now you get silver inserts. Alright, so the gear lever and all look fine, but the buttons feel a bit plasticky, and it does not get cruise control. I mean, this model does not get cruise control. This is the V trim. VX trim, I believe, got the cruise control as well. So yeah, and now let's check out the speakers. Audio quality is quite decent, and there's nothing much to talk about it. But yeah, it could have been a bit more balanced. I mean, the audio quality is okay for the most part, but yeah, there's absolutely no bass to it whatsoever. All right, so see the MID on startup. It does a cool swipe up, and now let's start driving. So guys, here we are, and let's start her up. And so the Amaze comes with two engine options. One is a 1.5 liter ID Tech diesel motor, and the petrol motor is a 1.2 liter IV Tech. So we're talking about the diesel first. So this one gets a 100 bhp motor with around 200 Newton meters of torque, and it is mated to a 5-speed gearbox. It also comes with a CVT as well. Now, when you start her up, you definitely have quite a lot of noise. However, this has been reduced from the last Amaze, but still there is, you can easily hear the diesel clatter. The engine has become smoother in terms of vibrations as well, and now it has gotten a bit more, it has got a lot more low end punch than before. You don't feel any torque rush, but you can shift gears easily below 2000 rpm. In fact, you can drive this diesel like a petrol. Only the thing which is missing from the from Honda's diesel is they are not very high revving. These engines do demand an upshift at every 4000 rpm, so the rev band is quite limited. However, since the mid range is very strong, you don't need to shift gears that often. One more thing, which is which I like about the Amaze, is the suspension. So it is softly sprung, and low speed ride is one of the better part of of the Amaze. Also, it does stiffen up, and it does tighten up, and it provides stability to you at higher speeds. However, a lot more work could be done towards insulating the work, as you know that the suspension is working in the background. The next thing is the steering. The steering feels direct. However, it is still not an Aspire or an Ameo for that matter, but it is better than its competition. Uh, it returns to center easily, and you do get quite, you do get a bit of feel from it. It's definitely better than the lifeless steerings of the Aura and the Desire. Apart from this, it is quite maneuverable. It is not very big, so you can easily go through the city traffic and all. It is very easy to maneuver, and it is easy to park as well. You get rear parking sensors, and in the top end variant you also get a reversing camera. Let's talk about a bit about the gearbox. So this gearbox is a 5-speed manual, and it slots right into place. The shifts are precise, and the gates are well defined. They're not The throws are very quite short. They're not very long throws, which makes it a joy to use. But a few things which I wish the gearbox had was a sixth gear, and this variant have does not have cruise control. So these are some of a few things which I miss. Another good part about the Amaze is diesel engine is its efficiency. It consistently delivers around 19 kilometers to the liter, and if you're driving in the city, it will definitely return you about 14 to 15 in the worst case, when the worst scenarios. That means if you drive with a heavy foot. So let's talk a bit about the petrol motor as well. So the petrol motor is a 1.2 liter IV Tech that comes that has been in the Brio as well. It has done its duty in the Brio. It does its duty in the Maze. It does its duty in the Jazz, and also in the WRV. So this engine, it does not feel very good in the Jazz and the WRV as they are quite heavy, but in this it does feel okayish for the most part. Yes, it's not like Maruti's K series 1.2 inch for 1.2 liter, but it still gets the job done. It is not very active, and you need to rev the nuts out of it to extract a great deal of performance. However, that engine is a very refined, very smooth, and if you drive sedately, it definitely would return good efficiency as well. However, no, it does lack the characteristics of Honda's petrol engine, because the 1.5 IV Tech, we know that it's shenanigans. It is high revving, it is quite fast, but this 1.2 liter isn't. So if you want to buy a petrol car, and you don't and you don't you're not so much concerned about safety and all, you can definitely go for the Desire, because it does offer a lot more value for money than the Amaze's petrol. However, when it comes to diesel, now that the Aspire has been discontinued and the Mayo was discontinued way back, so this and the and Maruti does not make diesel engines, so this and the Aura are literally the only options if you're looking to buy a compact sedan in diesel. And this is definitely better than the Aura. However, refinement is better in the Aura, but when you consider the overall performance, the overall build quality, and this has scored 4 stars in the RCN NCAP, and the fact that it is a Honda, and it's better to drive than both of those cars, it does it does quite well for itself. However, one chink in the armor of the Amaze is its pricing, which is very high, almost a lakh, more than its competition. But when you're spending that kind of money, you do feel that you're getting quite a lot. However, they have made improvements in the facelifts as well. You get LED projectors up front, you get a better infotainment screen with the updated digipad, and you get some nips and tucks around the interior as well. If and only if Honda plunked in a sunroof, that price increase would have been justified. However, as a car, Amaze is a very well-rounded package, and if money is not an issue, you can definitely buy the Honda Amaze. As it is easy to maintain, it's good to drive, it has good quality, and all these points make the Amaze a compelling buy.